'Cause you're a believer, a dreamer, taking it higher, driven by fire.
So, good afternoon, everybody. My name's Zoe Bywater and I'm from Belvoir, Bedford. And as you know, I've been talking to local heroes in the Bedford area over the recent weeks. Today, I am pleased to have Mohammad Yasin MP to talk to us today about his thoughts on how awesome Bedford is as a town and what his thoughts are on the people of Bedford. Good afternoon, Yasin.
Good afternoon, Zoe.
I'm really pleased to see you today. And before we start talking about Bedford as a town, I'd just like to ask you a couple of questions. I understand that you are Bedford born and bred, is that right?
No, I'm living in Bedford since 1992. Living here for 28 years.
Okay, and is it right that you used to be a taxi driver in Bedford?
I was taxi driver. I've done some work in Bedford, but mostly I worked as a taxi driver in Milton Keynes. I done full-time / part-time taxi driving for about 19 years. In the same time, I got elected. In 2006, I got elected as a councillor. I was working as a councillor and part-time taxi driver. And I think it did help me a lot with the understanding of the issues people face in this country, especially with the rough sleeping. And I saw with my own eyes people sleeping rough, and I understand the issues. I've seen drug dealing happening in areas. I have seen gangs, how they work, and I understand the issues the people of this country are facing. So I think by driving taxi, I've seen all these things because I've been out in streets in the evening, nights, morning, during the day, different times. So I saw the issues and things happening in Bedford and Milton Keynes and other areas in this country. So I do understand the issues people are facing in this country.
Okay, so obviously we're in really difficult times at the moment, and clearly you're not in Parliament right now. How are you and your family coping with this lockdown at the moment? Are you getting on okay with it?
We are staying in. I got 2 teenagers. I got grandkid living with me as well, and my daughter who's in university, and my another daughter who's working here. I got a son who's working. My son who was going through GCSEs this year. It was difficult. It was really difficult. My mom lives with me, who's over 80 now. My wife, who got heart conditions, and it's really hard to stay in. But you have to do it because not for our own safety, but the safety of other people in our area and this country. Because this is the only solution. If we stay in and we, if everybody start self-isolating, I think that's the solution. And it will take time, but we will come over it. I'm very confident that we'll come over it. It's difficult to stay in, understand, but we have to do it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So obviously you've been in the town for a few years then. Is there anything interesting about the town of Bedford that you could share with the viewers today?
Absolutely. I think we are very rich when it comes to diversity. I don't know many people know this or not, but Bedford is one of the most diverse town after London in Europe. And I would like to share this, that in Bedford, we speak more than 110 different languages, and more than 110 nationalities are living in Bedford. So this is a very pleasing. People living here with love, peace and harmony. And we are very proud of our diversity. Our diversity is our strength, and we are going strength to strength. I'm very pleased with that. I'm so proud to represent Bedford, such a beautiful and diverse town in our country.
Thank you. Obviously, having been here a few years, you've probably seen a lot of things change over the years. Is there anything that you would say has changed for the good, and obviously on the flip side, the bad as well?
Yes, I've seen things changing over the years as a councillor and now as a member of Parliament. I was a factory worker to start with in Bedford, and I've seen so many changes. I've seen factories going. I've seen unemployment going up. I've seen, unfortunately, I've seen rough sleeping, and austerity hasn't helped at all. 10 years ago, Austerity was started. We've seen the homelessness, rough sleeping. People are struggling in our country, in Bedford. In work, poverty is a very serious issue. But I've seen some positives as well, to be honest. And I've seen thousands and thousands of people are coming to Bedford to join our River Festival, which is very, very important. We've seen the development, which is Riverfield North development. We've seen new cinema there, hotel, and new restaurants, bars, and people are enjoying their life sitting on the river, which is beautiful thing to do. And again, our diversity. I've seen more people coming to live in Bedford. I've seen more communities coming to live in Bedford, which is really good, and I'm really, really proud of that.
Thank you. So, in respect of what you've just said, as soon as you're released from this lockdown, is there a particular place you would go in Bedford, or a sort of restaurant or bar or somewhere that you would attend? I mean, where would as soon as those doors fling open, where's the first place you're going to go?
To be honest, I'm missing meeting the people, my constituent. We getting hundreds and hundreds of new emails and calls where the people are struggling during these very difficult times. I'm missing my drop-in surgeries. As you probably may know or not, that I do 2 drop-in surgeries every week in different areas of Bedford, in superstores. I'm really missing those. And I think as soon as I get the opportunity, I'll be back out and meeting the people and trying to help them.
Brilliant. So obviously part of today's chat is about, I've been looking at local heroes in Bedford, and I've absolutely been overwhelmed with the amount of love that everybody is sharing with each other in these really difficult times, and people that you would least expect are stepping up to the plate to sort of help others that are unable to. Is there anybody that you've come across in the last few weeks that we've not mentioned or are not aware of? I mean, I've met an absolutely fantastic young lady called Danielle Britton, who set up a Facebook group, who's now helping the NHS, but I know there are so many others out there. Is there anybody you would like to give a shout out today to?
There are so many people. It's hard to mention 1 or 2 names. I have seen nurses, doctors, care workers, home care workers. They are really working hard, and they are helping other people. So I think all those frontline workers, we are helping the people, and especially vulnerable people. If you talk about ambulance drivers, ambulance crews, even truck drivers, delivery drivers, cleaners, they are doing very important jobs. So all those people are heroes for me. It's hard to mention 1 or 2 names. I've seen so many people are donating money for good cause, for NHS, and many other people are helping NHS voluntarily. I think all those people are my heroes, and I won't mention 1 or 2 names, to be honest. I will really encourage others to look after these people. We need to look after these people who are doing essential work, and they're looking after others by putting their own life at risk. So they are real heroes in Bedford and in the United Kingdom.
So is there anything else, now you've got the opportunity to, that you would like to say to the people of Bedford to just help us all get through this? It's
very difficult time. We are going through a very difficult time, and the message is very clear. Please stay in. It's very, very important. I know it's difficult. I know whether it's tempting, and people want to come out to the parks and doing partying or picnics. Please stay in. It will be over if we stay in, and it be quicker and we will come over it. Please stay in, and please save your lives and your loved ones' lives.
Thank you. And if there was one word to describe the people of Bedford at the moment on how they've stepped up, is there a word that you could think of?
They are absolutely fantastic. They are really doing well.
Thank you so much for your time today. I mean, I'm absolutely overwhelmed and astounded about how well Bedford has come together as a community, and I'm sure you are too.
Absolutely, and we are together as a community. I think we're really doing well in Bedford by staying in, and this is what we need at this moment. But I would like to thank all those we are helping as a frontline workers, nurses, doctors, care home workers, home care workers, drivers, delivery drivers, paramedics, ambulance drivers, and all those cleaners. They're doing a very important job. So I would like to thank everybody who's working so hard to keep us safe.
Thank you again, and I wish you and your family all the best.